Are you feeling maybe a little bit stuck or scared of taking risk? Maybe that's impacting you on your self esteem and how you're feeling about yourself. Well, today I want to talk about taking risks and your self esteem. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra point for you then as well. Now, if you want a particular podcast dedicated to men's mental health, then check out my brand new podcast, the Men's Mental Health and Growth Podcast, linked in the show notes below. I've been at both ends of taking risks and not taking risks. And it's sometimes impacted my self-esteem either way. When I've been too much on the edge and maybe done things I shouldn't have, it's like impacted me badly. And then also there's been times when I've kept too comfortable. It's impacted me because I'm not giving me the gift of experimenting and moving forward in life. So certainly been on both ends. I'm going to talk about getting a bit of a balance between them today. That's really what I want to share with you, because I see a lot of people stuck where they are, and I know it's not good for their self-esteem, because they're like, right, I'm just going to keep stuck where I am. I'm not going to do anything for me. I'm not going to take any risks to move forward. This is the life I have to have. And that doesn't create a good relationship with yourself if that's not what you want. It's like neglecting a small child. You're like saying, well, you may want that, but I'm not going to do anything about it, right? That's the way you're talking to yourself. And this is a really good quote Tony Robbins says, and it's, the quality of my life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty I can live with. I'll say that again. The quality of my life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty I can live with, meaning there's no certainty in life. There's only the certainty that you can put in yourself. How does it help when you're just like, well, I'm not going to take any risk. I'm just going to stay stuck. Well, if you're anything like me, it didn't do me any good when I was like, nah, I'm just going to stay here. And it's just like regret. It's not a great feeling. It's worse than rejection or failure in my books when I tried stuff. So here's some guidance on when you're assessing whether to how to move forward, maybe take that risk as you go through your journey. So number one, you got to know your direction. You got to know where you want to go. If someone gives you an opportunity, or maybe you want to do this, ask yourself, if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know the direction you're going in life or where you want to go, then how do you know if you want to take it or not? Because it's really important to know where you're going, because there's some very good marketers and people in this world, you may tell, who come in and like try and grab like your attention very quickly. So you've got to know your direction, where you're going. I've had so many people message me on social media, which, it's fine. It's like, it's the world we live in, right? But like, they didn't even get to know me in my direction. But because I know where I'm going, I'm okay with saying like, no, thank you. It's like when someone offered me a like 10K package the other day, and it's like, I'm like, I could have done it, but it's just like, I was like, yeah, but I've already done this, this, and this. And the person like was literally not paying attention to what I said. They just called me out of the blue, right? And it was kind of in a area that I've been involved in, so it wasn't a complete like cold call or anything. But like they didn't understand what like my mission is. That's why I think it's really important to understand a person, because I know my direction and where I'm going and what I've got. I was clear like, no. So the first thing is, in terms of taking risks or like staying still, you've got to actually know where you want to go, right? It's very difficult. Even if you're like not 100% sure on what exactly you want to get to, like if you know the general direction, that's great, right? You just have to have some kind of direction in my pace, in my experience, right? So the next one, sit with yourself and think, what is the next big thing? What is the next thing you really need to do that would make a massive difference in the direction? Maybe it's making a phone call. Maybe it's making an investment. And then if you need to, break that thing down, if it can be broken down. The third thing I'm going to say is tell someone about what you're going to do, like moving forward, right? So just be accountable to someone. And then the fourth step is probably one you don't want to hear, but you do it anyway. And again, that's where we go back to the second step and say, break it down if you need to. And then we tell someone so we can be held accountable. My extra point, just going to come up in a minute, but I just want to mention again that if you want to keep up to date with my latest podcast, the Men's Mental Health and Growth podcast, you can find that linked in the show notes below. My extra point for you that I wanted to share today is look at the cost of not taking action and moving forward. What is it going to cost you with that risk, with not taking that risk? And again, like, if the risk is too intense and you're like, if I take this risk, it's really could be a lot worse than actually the cost of not taking action, maybe you don't want to take it, right? But actually look at what's going to happen if you don't move forward with this. Could it take years of your life? You're going to be miserable. It's going to cost you lots of money. What's it going to do? Start looking at the impact of not moving forward with something, because that's really going to drive or sometimes light a fire for you to move forward. So that's what I got for you today. I just want to talk about taking risks and self-esteem, because when we get so stuck in our comfort zone, it's not great, but that is not a good relationship with yourself. So that is my guidance on moving forward today, when you've got like maybe feeling like something's a bit risky and a little bit scared. Okay, so I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives by being the best you. And remember, you're in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.